Hi all, welcome to Englishfirm, and this video is regarding NAATI CCL exam. In this video, we will be discussing the general tips and the tips for note taking as well as speaking. So firstly, let me start with the general tips. There are only a couple of tips required for this NAATI CCL exam. Firstly, this exam has two dialogues in which each dialogue can be a recording of 3.5 to 4 minutes. Whereas you will be giving answer to the same dialogue, which you can count it as again 3.5 to 4 minutes. On total, one dialogue will be 8 minutes. And coming to the second dialogue, it will be the same 3.5 to 4 minutes. So on total, your exam will be totally in between 15 minutes. Now, the tips which are required for this 15 minutes are just to not lose your marks and also pass for getting the 5 points for your PR migration purposes. NAATI CCL is totally about the confidence. No matter how much you study in the previous classes or in the previous days with 1 month or 2 months of preparation, the only 15 minutes you deal with the recordings of the exam is crucial. So the main thing to deal with this exam is confidence. If you panic and if you answer with no confidence for the questions which are asked in the recording, then there are high probability that you will fail in the exam. This is because NAATI CCL is just a conversation which is going on between two people. Basically, that is an English person and a Telugu person in coming to the Telugu exam. But if there is a Hindi exam, then there will be a Hindi speaker. So depending on whatever language it is, LOTE, it means language other than English. So it will be between two different speakers, English and the other native speaker of different language. So you will be interpreting the whole exam. It means interpretation is different to translation. Interpretation means you are itself the English person when you're answering and giving the meaning of what English person said, and you are only the other native speaker who you are giving the answer by interpreting the meaning which he have told. So if you give answer without confidence, with the doubt, it means that you're not good at the interpretation. Because if you give answer without confidence, it means you're not giving the correct answer. It's not like a daily conversation which is going on between two people, which is the first point you will lose the marks. Let me play up a dialogue for you. For example, then you will understand how you should be giving the answer with confidence, same like our day-to-day conversations.
This dialogue takes place between Mr. Wilson, a loan manager at a Sydney bank, and a client who has made an appointment to see him. The client wants to purchase a property and is inquiring about how to apply for a loan. The dialogue begins now. Hello, my name is Justin Wilson. I understand you are booked in with me today to discuss a loan. Is that right?
So dialogue, as it is a conversation between English person and other native person. Now the 99% English person will be the first start of the dialogue. So we have heard that my name is Justin Wilson, and I know that you have came here to discuss about the loan. So the way he have given the answer with the pace and with the speed, the same way you have to interpret the whole segment into another language. I can give you example by interpreting in Telugu language, saying that Namaskaram Justin Wilson garu. నాకు తెలుసు మీరు ఈ రోజు రుణం గురించి చర్చించడానికి వచ్చారు. This is the same for another languages as well. So whatever language you choose, you will be interpreting it same speed and same confidence level, the English person have said in the dialogue. So this is how confidence is really important. In order to gain the confidence, the key point here is you study the vocab almost every day till you finish off your exam. There will be a bunch of vocabulary words which Englishfirm will be providing you. It is almost 700 to 800 words. There is no need to panic for the number of words they are. We will be starting off with the normal level of preparation, depending upon when your exam is and how many weeks you have. And in that way, we will be proceeding through preparing the vocab. Once you prepare the vocab, then only you can crack the exam with confidence. Or else there are several issues students might face when giving exam, because if they don't remember the vocab, it means it will lower down their confidence and they don't give answer. They might take a lot of gaps when giving answer, or they might hesitate, or they might give answer thinking it is wrong with a lack of confidence. So this is the first thing to concentrate. Secondly, coming to time management. So this will be explained in the other video in brief, but here I'll be giving a simple example. Now, when I have played the dialogue, after when you have heard the English recording, there was a bell sound, a chime sound when you listen, and it is the indication that you need to give answer. After listening that, you can take almost a gap of 2 to 3 seconds, depending upon the length of the segment. So here they said, hello, this is Justin Wilson. I know that you came here to discuss the loan of your house. So this is max of 2 to 3 sentences in a segment. Then you can take a gap of 2 to 3 seconds and you can give an answer. But there are some segments which are very long enough. For instance, hi, can you please hand over your passport, your identification proof, and also your house bill so that I can verify and help you in opening the account. This might be the segment in your exam. In such cases, you will be writing. I will be telling the tips for note taking as well. You will be writing, and then you can take a gap after the chime sound for almost 5 to 7 seconds, because this is a long segment. Then you can answer. So this kind of time management will be explain to you in your next classes when you join in the classes and when you have your exam nearby. But firstly, time management and confidence are important in the exam to get good marks and pass the exam. Coming to the next one, okay, do not repeat any verbs. Firstly, if there is a dialogue when they say that my name is Justin Wilson and I am a bank manager here, then if you don't know what you have to say to bank and what you have to say to manager and what you have to say good morning in the other language, then instead of starting and giving gap or just thinking of what you have to say, it's okay, you continue in the same language, that is English. There are several cases when students know the word, specific word, they have learned it, but they can't recollect it when they're giving the exam. It's totally fine, because it's not that 100% you have to give the answer. It's like whenever you feel like you are not able to recollect the word, you cannot give the gap when you're giving the answer. It's better you actually leave the word what you have to say in other language and say it off in English. Otherwise, you will have a negative marking and your marks will get cut for taking a lot of gaps while you are answering, which will affect your confidence as well. So it's okay for you to repeat in the same language instead of waiting and thinking for it. And the another important tip is deliver the meaning. Like this NAATI CCL interpretation is not word-to-word interpretation, it is meaning interpretation. If you do word-to-word interpretation, there is no chance that you can get 100% of correct meaning when you're interpreting. I can give a clear example. When a conversation is going on between a real estate agent and the person who have come to inspect the house. Real estate agent might ask the person saying, what caught your attention? It means that what actually is the most attention grabbing thing for in the house. That is the meaning. So when you interpret it, you interpret with that kind of meaning, like saying, what are you actually interested in, or what actually interested you more, by interpreting them in your same language words. But if you interpret word to word saying what caught your attention in the language, it gives the wrong meaning. So this is called meaning delivery, but not word to word delivery. There are some cases where you will be doing word to word delivery, but it's better you concentrate on meaning delivery, because it is more easy for you guys to understand the story and give answer accordingly. If you don't understand the story and if you don't interpret the meaning, there are chances that you might interpret wrong meaning for almost 50% of the exam, and this is the highest marks deduction for you if you miss this meaning interpretation. Now, let's move on to another segment of this video, which is called tips for note taking. Firstly, tips for note taking. This is very easy for people who have already given their NAATI PT exam or who are actually preparing for PT exam now. Because even in PT, for sections like speaking and listening, you note it, especially for listening, you note it. NAATI CCL is nothing more difficult or nothing different to PT listening. Because in PT listening, you will be listening and you will be writing and you will be entering the answers. And here in NAATI CCL, you will be listening, you will be writing, and you will be speaking them out by changing the language. So it's a bit higher version when compared to the listening. Instead of repeating the same answer, you just interpret in different language. That is the only difference between PT listening and the NAATI CCL. The first tip to note taking is when you listen to any particular segment means the recording which you're listening in a dialogue, like the just example which I placed, like, hi, this is Justin Wilson. Please, I came to know that you came here for loan discussion. So this is called the whole segment in dialogue. In that way, there are a couple of segments in the whole dialogue. So now when you listen to a particular segment, you need to make a note of at least one word in a sentence. I can share my screen and I can show you what I'm actually explaining. When the dialogue starts, you should make sure that you divide the page into two halves and you have to write the English related, I mean, whatever recording you listen in English over left side and whatever recording you listen in the other language in the right side. Now, the dialogue was said, hello, this is Justin Wilson. So you will be listening to the dialogue and you will be writing simultaneously. But your listening concentration is 70%, whereas your writing is just like a clue. Basically, some students give answers without writing it. It is okay for shorter segments or for one-line segment, but it is very difficult for student to cover up 100% answer when they are more sentences in a specific segment. That means long segment. Now, this segment, if I say, like, hello, this is Justin Wilson, and I know that you came for loan discussion for the home. So you're listening to the thing and you're writing. If we encounter and if we write like, hello, this is Justin Wilson, and if you keep on writing each and every word, you cannot write every sentence till the end. You will miss out. The recording will run so faster that you will not even realize that which sentence you're stuck at. It means you're missing the whole half of the answer. If you repeat that for 2 to 3 segments by missing 50% of the answer in every segment, it's a clear fail in the dialogue. So you should make sure that you write just keywords in every sentence, like, hello, this is Justin Wilson. So you just write hello and Justin, or just, I mean, it's a shortcut. You can cut off the words as long as you remember it. Then I know that you came here for loan discussion for your home. So we don't write anything, just the keywords like loan and loan for what? It's for the home. So just that's why you write home. This is how you make note taking. So when you write this and when you listen the chime sound, then you look at your notes and then you answer in your other language. Like just I have given answer, Namaskaram, na peru Justin Wilson. This is in Telugu language. And it's just saying that మీరు ఇక్కడికి వచ్చారు మీ రుణం గురించి చర్చించడానికి మీ ఇంటి గురించి. So if you write the keywords for at least one word for one sentence, like a segment might have 2 to 3 sentences, like, hello, this is Justin Wilson. It's the first sentence. I know that you came here for loan discussion for your home. This is second sentence. For every sentence, if you write at least 1 or 2 words, it's more than enough, because you will be listening to the story and you will be listening to 70%, whereas this notes is just a help and just like a clue card for you. And when you write this, like 30%, that's it, just one word in one sentence. When you give answer, then when you're giving answer, then you look at the notes, and as you have listened, and it's just a gap of 5 seconds, like you just listen to it and then the chime sound will come, you will just stop it, and then you can take 2 to 3 seconds for your answer. Or if it's long segment, you take longer time and then you give the answer saying in your language. So you don't need to write everything, because as long as you're listening, to the 70% and you're understanding the story, when you look at the words which you have written, it is more than enough for you to give the answer in your own language. And focus on the story. As I've said, some people don't focus on the story and they just focus on note writing because of the tension. They might think that they're missing the words, but it's not the case. You're actually missing the story if you don't listen it more. Like there may be a bank teller who might say that please bring in your passport, your identification proof, and your house bill, so that I can verify these documents and help you open the account. So many people, they get tensed that this is a long segment, that they start writing passport, ID proof, house bill, and then they forgot what the actual story is. The actual story is you need to bring them so that she can verify and help you open the account. But this is all done. Like the people forget this, that what they have said. They might just write verify, but they will not write the following sentence, which is meant, why are we actually collecting this? They are collecting this in order to verify and in order to help in opening the account. So this is the main criteria which we need to focus on the story. If you don't focus on story, it is difficult to answer long segments. And if you don't answer long segments, it's a clear indication for you to fail the exam, because it means you're not good at interpretation. And especially when you're noting it, and when you're noting the keywords, some students might note whole keywords, and when you don't listen, then they interpret and give the wrong meaning. It is something like giving answer with all the keywords, but you are forming a sentence which gives the wrong answer, which gives the wrong meaning. Like the same example, I can rephrase it, saying, please bring your passport and ID so that I can verify it. Then this is the actual question. Then if the student says that in a meaning like, please bring in your ID and passport so that I can help you open the account, that means you're using the keywords passport and ID proof are interpreted in your language. But what answer did you actually give? You have given answer that you will help to open the account, but that's not the meaning. That's the meaning is they will just verify. They didn't say that they will open the account. So this is nothing but meaning distortion. If you do meaning distortion, you're not fit for interpretation, because you're giving totally wrong information to someone who don't know English language. So this is the way we should not do meaning distortion, and we have to focus on the story. We should be listening and we should be writing just the word. And the last step for note taking is you should concentrate more on names. You should make sure that you don't misplace the names with other names, and address. When an address is given, like 8-9 Collins Street, then you just need to interpret in your own language by especially the numbers you can interpret, like 8-9. If in Telugu it is 8-9 Collins Street, you don't need to interpret again street and state and everything. You just need to interpret the numbers, and the whole address should be same. You just can't give answer like 8 Collins Street. You can't change the address, you can't change the names. You should be very careful with names, address, and phone numbers. When you listen to phone numbers and if you are unable to interpret it, it's good if you take repeat. I will be explaining about the repeat later in the next video. Now let's proceed to the last section of this video, which is tips for speaking. Speaking, this exam is nothing but a recording, like IELTS speaking recording. It's the same. So when you are giving your answer, there is a recorder, like it will just, the whole answer of yours will be recorded, and that recording will be sent to the examiners in order to correct your exam. So when you are not loud enough when you are giving answer, then there are chances that the recording might be very low of yours, and the examiner might not listen it well. So even though you give correct answer, if your voice is low, then it is indirectly leading to the wrong path by giving you less marks or by making you fail. So that's why you should be loud enough. It's not like it should be super loud enough so that the examiner might be annoyed, but it should be with the normal medium tone, at least to make sure that your device is able to get. You can test it in Teams. So when you're actually going before your exam, by recording your own and checking if your system is correct and if your phone or system, whatever you're giving in, is well enough to take up your voice and to hear it well. Next step is you need to be clear in the pronunciation. You just can't hesitate a lot and give wrong pronunciations to specific words. If you are not clear enough and if you don't pronounce it well, then even though if you interpret with the same language meaning, the examiner might understand it and they might take a wrong answer. So be very clear and pronounce it very well, each and every word. And do not be very fast and do not speak very low. Like some students might speak very low just to make sure that the recording is going well into the system and the examiner understands it well. But no, this exam is nothing but your interpreter. It means that you need to be in a normal day-to-day conversation. In the normal day-to-day conversation speed. So same like you speak to your colleagues, same like you speak to your friends, because this is a conversation. If I say this is a conversation between a real estate agent and the person who came to see home. So you are a real estate agent and you are a person. So you should be like a normal person who is talking with someone else. So you can't be very low. And in the same way, you shouldn't be super fast so that we can't get your answers. So the main things to keep in mind is to be loud enough, but not super loud, be appropriate, not too speed and not too slow, and be very clear with the pronunciation and try to pronounce the words when you're practicing well so that you don't hesitate when you're giving answers. And that's it. The time management, as I have told, you will be getting in your next video. But I can say that even if you take gaps, the gaps of the particular 2 to 3 seconds or 5 to 6 seconds, it should be before beginning the answer. That is after chime sound, you can take some gap and you can give the answer, but you just cannot take the gap when you have actually started the answer. Like, please bring your ID and passport so that I can verify. So this is the way I took the gap, right? Between, so that I can verify. That gap shouldn't be there, because in your normal day-to-day conversations, you don't take gap when you're talking to someone. So that is the way we have to take care. And all of these will be explained very well when we are practicing the dialogues in the classes. So thank you so much. And please be looking for other videos which are coming on the way for NAATI CCL exam. Thank you.